Hello, fellow peasants. Today I'll be reviewing 1990's Home Alone. Alright guys, so I just got done watching Home Alone. This film came out in 1990 and is directed by Chris Columbus. He also directed the first two Harry Potter films. So I really like his sense of direction. Chris Columbus is really good at whimsical, magical films. He's good at creating a sense of magic and awe when you watch his films. So what is Home Alone about? For those of you who haven't seen Home Alone, most of you I'm sure have seen Home Alone. But Home Alone is a story about a kid who he doesn't really like his family a whole lot. The movie starts out with him fighting with his siblings, his cousins, and they're getting ready to go on this trip to Paris, France. They're getting ready to fly overseas for Christmas. And they get into a big fight during having pizza for dinner. And he goes, "I hate you jerks. I wish you all would disappear. I hate you. And I wish you'd all just go away." And so the next morning, they fly to France, the family does, and they forgot Kevin. They forgot the kid. And so he's home alone while his family's taking a plane trip to Paris, France. And he's kind of like, at first he's like, this is really cool, I'm the only one here. My family's gone. I can play with whatever I want. I can get into whatever I want. I can eat junk food. I can sled down the stairs. I can do all this stuff that I've always wanted to do. Jump on the bed. He does all kinds of stuff that a kid would probably do if they were home alone for several days without any supervision. And over the course of the film, robbers try to break into the house early on in the film before the family even leaves. There's a robber disguised as a cop, acting like he's going door to door, going through the neighborhood, making sure people are taking precautions for the holidays. But he's really there just casing the joint. And so they stop by back later because they know the family's going to Paris, France, but they don't know that Kevin's still home. They don't know that Macaulay Culkin's character is still in the house. So they drive by a couple times, and Macaulay Culkin's kind of hip to it. And so he sets up like some of these how do you put it? He takes like some of these cardboard cutouts that look like silhouettes of people and puts them on train tracks like Michael Jordan, and he has them run around these train tracks so it looks like there's people and there's mannequins moving in the windows. So it gives the appearance that there's somebody home. So he plays little tricks on them like that. But eventually the robbers find out that Kevin's not home alone, or that Kevin is home alone. It's just him in the house. The family's gone. They forgot him, and they're like, "Let's break in. We're not going to have some kindergartners stop us from getting whatever's in that house." And so the rest of the movie just kind of is about him starting to miss his family, trying to keep the burglars out of the house, but once they're in the house, he sets up these traps for them, and there's also a little bit of a side story in the film about an old guy who hasn't talked to his son in years, and he's also considered like kind of a creepy guy by the kids in the neighborhood, but he ends up just being like an old nice man at the end. So what do I like? What do I not like about Home Alone? So what I like about Home Alone, oh man, just the writing, the acting, just everything in it. Like the movie is it's another one of those movies where I consider it a perfect film. Really, I'll just stop it there. Really, because I don't well, not stop the review, but I don't have any negatives for this film. I have only likes for this film. This is one of my favorite films of all time. It's my favorite Christmas film of all time. So I love the storytelling. It's just a great idea. You got this kid home alone. Robbers are trying to break in. He sets up these booby traps to stop them. It's a story about family. You know, he hates his family one minute, but then he realizes that he misses his family. And just the comedy. I mean, there's just so much going on. And, you have the family aspect, the Christmas family aspect to it, of course. You have the comedy in here. And just the direction. Chris Columbus does an excellent job at directing kids, like he did with the Harry Potter series. Like, he's very good at getting performances out of the kids that otherwise would probably rather be off eating ice cream or some shit. But he's able to create these magical atmospheres and stuff in these films, and I also I don't like this in a lot of stuff, but the cinematography here is done really well, and it has that glow effect. There's a filter or something they've done. I don't know if they added that later in post-production on this, or it's how they set up the lenses, but there's a kind of a glow around the edges of things in the film that give it that magical, almost like a memory look, like a dream-like feeling or something. I really like that look of the film. Not every scene in the film has that look. There's certain shots that have it more than others. But it is a very soft-looking film. I only have the regular Blu-ray. I don't have the 4K for this. I'll upgrade at some point, but I don't know if it's a must upgrade, you know what I mean? Because the film is very soft. It has that glowiness to it, and it just doesn't lend itself over to a super sharp 4K. I mean, I've watched video comparisons and of the 4K on YouTube, and there's some slight improvements here and there from what I've seen, but nothing drastically different. So I like the writing, I like the comedy, I like the acting, I like the cinematography. Like I just said, it's shot wonderfully. Some of my favorite parts in the film, I just love when he's watching the gangster film and he's eating the crunch taters and eating a big bowl of ice cream, and he has a big cheese pizza, and he's just sitting there just gorging on food, watching gangster movies. And I just love what's the gangster movie say? It's I'm gonna give you to the count of 10, 10, 9, or whatever it says, or whatever, and then 10, and then he jumps straight to 10 or whatever, and he says, "Keep the change, you filthy animal." That's great. And I don't know, did they shoot that just for this film? I don't know if that's a real movie or not that they were playing. That might have been shot just for this scene. It's a fake movie, I'm thinking, but I'm not sure. If you guys know in the comments below, is the gangster movie in the movie a real gangster movie, or was it shot just for the film? I also like the booby traps he sets up. I like the iron coming down the laundry chute. I like the nails in the tar on the basement steps. The flamethrower at the kitchen door. The buckets of paint coming down the stairs. The bulbs underneath the front window that Marv comes in through the front window, and all the bulbs are busted into pieces, and he cuts his feet on those bulbs. Oh God, there's so many things in this movie, like for the booby traps, where I'm just like, it makes me cringe because I'm like, God, that would freaking hurt. And and then the tarantula scene. One of you guys in the comments, I think Mikey's Morgue, I think mentioned this about the tarantula scene where it's on Marv's face, and Marv lets out this like horrendous scream. It is a pretty impressive scream, really. And I mean, I'd probably scream like that too if I had a tarantula on my face. For like, and then like, I just really like that they think they've outsmarted Kevin at one point. They're like, because he goes out to the tree house, and they're like, oh no, he wants us to go back through the house, go back through his little booby trap. Well, we're not going to do that. We're going to go straight to him. We're going to go out. And so they try to cross the rope over to the tree house. And he just he just takes the hedge trimmers and just snaps the freaking rope, and they swing and bash against the side of the house and land in the snow. And that's when he runs over to the other house. It's flooding. What else do I really like about the film? I mean, just some of the humor. Like, it's a kid's movie, but it's not like Disney kids. Like, there's still some profanity in the film. It is funny. Like Buzz is like, I wouldn't let you sleep in my room if you were growing on my ass. You know what I mean? Like, there's some humor in there you don't catch when you're a kid, but then when you're an adult, you're like, oh, okay, I guess, okay, that's what that means, or that makes sense now, or whatever. So I like some of that humor that you can appreciate even as an adult. This movie came out when I was 5 years old, so I think Kevin was like, how old was Kevin in this? He's like 8 years old or something like that. So I was only several years younger than Macaulay Culkin when this movie came out, and I thought this movie was just the coolest thing ever. It's always been a favorite of mine. I've been watching this movie now. Well, this is 2023, so barely. We're still in 2023. So I've been watching this movie for 33 years now. I've owned it on VHS, DVD. Now I have it on Blu-ray. At some point, I'll upgrade to the 4K. But I just love this film, guys. It really is just an all-time classic. Also, I'll take it back. Hold on a second. And I really like the wrapping up of like the old man who comes and saves him at the end, and because Kevin has this idea that the old man is scary because of what Buzz told him, the neighbor guy next door, but he's not. He's just a sad, lonely old guy, and at the end, he comes in with the snow shovel and beats up the robbers, and that's when like Kevin's like, he realizes like, oh, he's just a nice little guy. Well, I mean, he knew that before that because Kevin talked to him in the church and learned about like what was going on with him and his son and all that, and so he knew he was a nice old guy then, but I don't think Kevin expected him to show up with the shovel and beat the guys in the head. And so at the end, the robbers get arrested, they get busted, and Kevin's family comes back home. The mom ends up flying back to the States, but then she can't get another flight, so she rides with John Candy. John Candy plays some guy in a band, and they're taking a van somewhere, and she rides with them to get back to Chicago to get home to him, and the rest of the family members take a morning flight to get there. And so at the end, the old guy's family is reunited, Kevin's family comes back home, the robbers are in jail, and everybody is happy, and the movie ends with Buzz screaming, "Kevin, what did you do to my room?" or whatever, and he runs off screen, and then it cuts to credits. But yeah, guys, excellent film, classic film. In my opinion, the best Christmas movie ever. Second would probably be, I don't know, like my second favorite Christmas movie would probably be like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and I like Frosty. I like It's a Wonderful Life. I'm sure there's more. I do have a Blu-ray of the original. It's like from the 1930s. A Christmas Carol. It's really good. I've done a review. If you go to my Christmas content review, you can also see a review I did for the black and white 1932, I think, Christmas Carol. That's really good. I have that on Blu-ray, so I highly recommend checking that out if you are like collecting Christmas movies, or you're looking for a really good version of A Christmas Carol. I think that's the best version of the Christmas Carol, is the 1932 version. And you can get that on Amazon. I think I got that for like $14, $15. But anyway, that's it. That's my review for Home Alone. What's there to say about Home Alone that hasn't been said? Great movie, great acting, great Christmas atmosphere. Directed by Chris Columbus. He's great at doing magical shit. And that's about it, guys. Have a good one, peasants. Let me know down in the comments below what you think about Home Alone. Have a good one. Peace out. Bye-bye.